All right, what's up with another video coming back? And just as a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. This is not medical advice. This is just my opinion, entertainment purposes only. And do with it what you want to share with it, with whom you want to share. So we're going to go ahead right into it. I'm going to share my screen for those of you watching on YouTube. And uh, it's a news article that came out, and this one is going to be on the insider.com. Great place for a source of information on health and longevity, right? Just kidding. So this article, first of all, it is 5 signs that you're deficient in vitamin E, including coordination issues and impaired visions. Now, just like from observation recently, since this whole pandemic era and such, there's a lot of companies out there that are giving their opinions about how to stay healthy, or like the routines that we should take to be healthy or become healthier, supplements that we should take, blood work that we should do, things like that. So what's my opinion on it? Well, there's a lot of deaths going on, and it is ironically heart related, cardiovascular related, and pulmonary related. So a lot of issues that we have within, let's say, the fitness community and those who are trying to get healthier. And I think a big problem is articles like these. And the reason why I say that is because the symptoms of you being deficient in some sort of vitamin or mineral, it's like, it's like the whole using the term adrenal fatigue or inflammation. You're trying to cover a very specific issue with a very broad title and diagnosis. So my issue with this is that when should we ever like really be vitamin E deficient? If the foods that we have nowadays, like let's say you're not getting, like say sunflower seed oil, right? Has a lot of vitamin E. Let's say you're not eating that. Our foods are now fortified with vitamins and minerals to make sure that we don't have deficiencies here in America. So it's rare that we would have that in America. Like if we're in a third world country or we're in poverty somewhere, yeah. But even in poverty in America, we're still upper class in third world countries. I mean, you get your WIC cards or your government pay plans to get food and whatever. Every food is fortified. Our bread is fortified with vitamins and minerals. There's no way we're going to be deficient in things. Now, what can cause some deficiencies is if we have a disease, an underlying disease, if we are taking medications, which a lot of times that's usually the problem. And then if we are taking other substances, other drugs, and usually those things kind of correlate with each other. Okay. So like, but then also the other thing that, the other aspect is our lifestyle. Okay. So it's not like you have one without the other. So it's usually you have two or more or all. And that's what causes some deficiencies. And so we can get blood work done to see if we have any of these markers that may be like Crohn's disease or whatnot. And so going back to the article, how do you know if you're vitamin E deficient? I mean, the rarities of people that are vitamin E deficient in America, it's very, very rare. You know, they claim the vitamin E deficiencies cause muscle weakness. Hey, I just got out of a session of legs, and the next day I have weakness in my muscles. Okay, how does an American or an average person differentiate weakness from a deficiency versus weakness from maybe overtraining or maybe chronic stress? How do you or undersleeping? How do you distinguish between the two? Numbness. I fell asleep, or my foot fell asleep as I was laying on the couch. That's numbness. I'm vitamin E deficient. Coordination issues. I'm not athletic. And I trip over my own feet. Maybe I'm vitamin E deficient. And again, like it says, the next point, that if you have Crohn's disease or cystic fibrosis, again, those are things that you know from going to a doctor's. They're not going to be like, oh, you're vitamin E deficient. Now let's check and see if you have Crohn's disease. No, they're going to go down the line and be like, hey, you have Crohn's, and now we're going to supplement with vitamin E. And they give you some good sources: sunflower seeds, peanut butter, almond butter. Again, natural sources, we got to eat a lot of those to get a good amount of vitamin E, which then now you increase your caloric intake when you're eating things that are very calorically dense, so it has a lot of calories for little amounts of volume. And then now you're going to probably overconsume calories, and now you become overweight or obese, and now that causes a whole nother epidemic of like metabolic syndrome and metabolic effects, right? So trying to get all of your vitamin E that you would need from nut butters on top of your other meals, because you're probably not going to substitute those meals with the nut butters with calories. Now you'll be eating in a calorie surplus, eating more calories, and then you will be overweight. So don't try to get your vitamin E if you do have Crohn's from natural food sources unless you take into account the calories. You would supplement with vitamin E, and that would range from 200 IUs up to 1,000 IUs, and depending on what your doctor says, how many times. You have different sources of vitamin E. Okay, you have a gamma vitamin E, which is typically going to be, I would say, a better option. Some people are indifferent about that, but I think gamma would be a better option for absorption and utilizing vitamin E for an immune system. So, and for like muscular health. So again, even in this article, it says it's rarity in healthy adults. However, there are deficiencies possible. Yeah, no problem. There are deficiencies that are possible. So let's go through like their little list on here. Again, take this for what it is. It is insider.com. It's not a PubMed journal, nor is it a peer-reviewed journal or article study. So muscle weakness, inadequate vitamin E causes oxidative stress, causes imbalances between free radicals and antioxidants in the body, and then you get that muscle weakness. Coordination issues leads to neurons breaking down in the brain. I don't think we really have that much of an underlying disease. Numbness and tingling, so neuropathy issues. Again, that could be B vitamin deficiencies. You know, it's not just vitamin E. I'd rather overdose on B vitamins than vitamin E. The reason why is because vitamin E is going to be fat soluble, so it's going to be more readily likely to be stored in the body, which can be a little bit more harmful for some organs, whereas B vitamins typically are going to be water soluble unless they're liposomal. But yeah, at least you can pee them out if you ever take more of them. Anyways, the weakened immune system. So I highly doubt your weakened immune system is due to vitamin E deficiency. It's probably due to lack of physical activity, poor diets, so inadequate variation of foods, and probably lack of sleep, overstressed, not stress from family or work, but stress from maybe just sitting down watching TV all day. We can have those days, no problem, but if your activity level within a week is very, very low, and you're not doing something preventative for reducing, muscle loss or fat gain throughout that week, if you don't have like working out, playing sports, gardening, these other non-exercise activity things that we would do to help increase metabolic our metabolic process, then we have a problem. So you're probably going to get some sort of immune deficiency, right? If you're not exposing yourself to the environment. That's the way that we adapt naturally. We don't need vaccines. We don't need to have antibiotics. There's a lot of things that we don't need from a pharmaceutical standpoint that we can do naturally to increase our immune system. Vitamin E, it's not going to be the magical pill that increases your immune system. I'd rather opt for vitamin D, just saying, but that's depending on blood work. So again, get your blood work done. Impaired vision, blurry vision. Again, man, also diabetes. You have high risk of glaucoma or blood pressure issues, which could cause blurriness. So vitamin E deficiency, probably not. I mean, in America, you're more likely to have that blurry vision due to the blue light coming into your eyes all the time, like I'm doing right now, looking at the screen, and you're doing right now, watching me. Hello, you 3 people. And yeah. So, but oh yeah, diabetes is probably going to cause more of an issue with your vision because of the blood pressure issues, the blood is not getting throughout all of your blood vessels of the body. So you're likely to get some vision issues as well and have a risk of glaucoma. So again, you can go through your doctor to get vitamin E panel done on your blood work to see really where it's at on a serum level. And then we can kind of, I would say, look at supplementation if your DO or your doctor says otherwise. But again, articles like this, it's an issue that is causing more problems in people's lives because you don't know what the amount that you're supposed to take of vitamins. The average American, and you go and take offense to this if you're watching this, you don't know these things. You don't know how to read journals. You don't know how to read peer-reviewed reviews. There's classes that we take in colleges in science that help us to read and understand these things and to collect data from them and to sift through the bias. And there are always going to be some sort of bias. But again, if you don't know the fundamentals of vitamins, minerals, blood serum levels, the differences between forms of vitamins and how well they absorb, it's a really, I can't think of any other industry where people think that they can do something on their own without having a common base knowledge, like a fundamental knowledge that they got from published journals. I'm not going to hire someone to build my house who watches YouTube videos on how to build houses, right? So why would you get your information from google.com and be like, how much vitamin D should I take? And then you listen to some insider.com. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why you would seek out professional help. And if things don't make if things aren't making sense, that's where you ask questions. If that person doesn't want to answer your question or have a valid reason for why they're doing something, that should be an alarm setting off for you saying, hey, maybe I shouldn't be following this person. Or is this person trying to sell me on something? Okay, like Dr. Eric Berg does a really great job on that, right? He uses big words and uses them a lot, and he has specific key words, and it attracts you because you're like, oh, this person knows what he's talking about. And so if I use some textbook terms in my videos, then yeah, you'd probably be like, oh, like this guy knows what he's talking about. But really, the more simple someone can place and the more simple someone can describe something to you and you get it, I would say that would be a better person to listen to, and then ask to explain further. So then you can kind of get how much knowledge they have of that and how much experience they have of utilizing said vitamins, minerals, protocols into their lives and into their clients' lives or patients' lives if it's a doctor, because doctors are the same thing. Anyways, it's pretty much starting a rant, but like I'm pretty sick of seeing these ironic and coincidental deaths in the fitness industry from people who I know that they do take their health a little more serious. And yes, fitness isn't always the most sport or activity to do, but really what is? I mean, you can say your desk job is killing you every day. So, so you can't compare someone who is not only keeping themselves physically active and healthy, watching what they're eating, making sure they're getting good micronutrients and also macronutrients and sleep, and they're also getting blood work and they're monitored. Yeah, they may take other exogenous compounds, but who's to say again that your desk job isn't killing you at a faster rate or the same rate? But you probably don't know because you're not getting the blood work done. I don't think you should just start taking supplements out of the whim based on articles. And I think these articles should definitely be flagged. If anything, if there's any sort of cancel culture, it should be on these articles that are telling people to take certain supplements due to like maybe there's a possibility of a deficiency. Like these are the signs. Again, man, all those signs I just said, it could be from something totally different. I can wait, you can go to sleep and have poor sleep and 3 hours and then wake up with muscle weakness, and you do that a week out or a week by week, and then you never really get a good amount of sleep, and you go and you start taking 1,000 IUs of vitamin E, and you're eating foods that are fortified with vitamin E, and you're taking a multivitamin with vitamin E, and then now you have an issue. And now you try to take something else because now you just caused that issue, and now you get a prescription because the vitamins and minerals aren't helping. And so it just goes down this terrible snowball effect. So anyways, that's my rant. I just think, again, prevent some of these deaths, these ironic deaths as of lately, these past couple of years, just by seeking out someone's professional opinion before listening to Google. Can't stand Google. Anyways, talk to y'all later. Like, share, comment, subscribe.